When one thinks, or when one hears the latest scandal enveloping Unite, Britain's second largest trade union, the story feels eerily familiar. It feels like something out of the Conservative Party, something out of Central Europe. It's as if with Brexit, we as a country felt that we could not stand apart from the corruption that we had spoken about so often in our pre-Brexit days. We need our own version of corruption, and suddenly it's wherever we look. In the Conservative Party, in the Labour Party, in the Post Office, in Windrush, in Grenfell Towers, in the people we put into prison, the wrong people we put into prison. We bring them out, we don't pay them properly. We say we're going to give them some sort of recompense. We don't. And our corruption, our particular form of corruption, seems to lie between what is said and what is done. It's a particular type of British disingenuity. The sudden accusations of corruption, the mismanagement of monumental sums, the unravelling of high-profile figures in a web of financial misconduct. Well, he says that, I say this, but these things don't quite agree. And one could argue with Labour's association with Unite. Power once again exposes weaknesses all too recognisable from the Conservative narrative of recent years. It's as though all we've done is to change the brand. The sordid underbelly still glistens with an invitation to mop up the poison. This tale of alleged deceit, mismanagement, and dubious alliances would make even the most seasoned political observer sigh with weary recognition. This case finds its roots in the leadership of Len McCluskey, old seasoned powerhouse and ally to former leader Jeremy Corbyn. And McCluskey's tenure, marked by his commanding influence and fervent political backing, notably extended to Howard Beckett, his Northern Irish lieutenant, who quickly rose through the ranks to become Assistant General Secretary. And Beckett's role, initially heralded for bringing financial success through member services, gradually emerged as a focal point of controversy. And the tribunal this past summer, where Beckett defended himself against charges of unfair dismissal, lifted the lid on a much deeper and more tangled issue, namely the Birmingham Hotel and Conference Centre project, which ballooned from an estimated £35 million to a staggering £112 million, epitomising the alleged fiscal recklessness because it's not even worth that amount. Now, a particular note, 14 million reportedly vanished. An amount unexplained in Unite's final financial accounts. This financial jiggery-pokery, this mystery, this legerdemain, described by some as a grotesque deviation from due diligence, has become the anchor for an ongoing serious fraud investigation. The construction was managed by Paul Flanagan's Liverpool-based firm, an entity tied by friendship to Len McCluskey. Allegations of improper and inappropriate tendering surfaced, though vehemently denied by Flanagan and Beckett alike, my buddies. The tribunal's disclosures laid bare how deeply the project's costs had spiralled, with added claims of added floors and premium upgrades, inflating expenses. Yet despite Beckett's assertions of transparency, Sharon Graham, McCluskey's successor, was met with a grim valuation. The property was worth merely £29 million. So it costs so much, and it's worth so little. Graham's tenure has been marked by a bid for accountability, as she confronted not only resistance from within but external threats, revealing the high stakes involved in untangling this sordid financial web. Her anecdote of being approached by 4 men in London, warned ominously against delving into hotel accounts, highlights the serious nature of these investigations and the dark forces surrounding them. And the narrative remains peppered with denials, lies. Beckett, for one, maintains that his deals and financial oversight were to Unite's benefit, dismissing accusations as baseless. Yet the facts, as noted by Judge Richard Nicholl during the tribunal, point to substance in the allegations, even if the tribunal refrained from passing final judgment on their veracity. The true irony is how familiar this dance has become within the Labour Party, when its allies find itself mirrored in the same accusations of corruption and negligence it had so often levelled at its opponents. The Labour Party and everything it touches seems to be smeared in the fecal deposit of the same charges that it levelled against the Conservatives. As detectives and inquiries continue to probe these financial labyrinths, one cannot help but reflect on Lord Acton's oft-cited maxim: power tends to corrupt, and absolute power corrupts absolutely. We wonder what's wrong, we wonder what smells. It's been smelling since Brexit. I don't think it's about 14 years of Conservative austerity, because the austerity kicked in with Blunkett. It's about this European division. It's about the desperation to control. It's about problems with immigration. It's about a loss of our identity, which nobody really wants to talk about. It's about the failure of multiculturalism in its present form. It's about the failure of Britain. And as a country fails, it slips. It slips into corruption. It slips into depression. Corruption is simply a national version of personal depression. And we are well and truly in the middle of it. And how do we get out of it? We seem to have nothing to lift our spirits. Each way we look, it's the same sordid mess, where people put money at the top of the tree as the most important thing. It isn't. What is the most important thing is honour and trust and friendship, reliability, perseverance. What we put as the most important things are money and blame and hatred of anybody who isn't in our particular group. We have, in our dotage, we have slipped into an immaturity in this country, where almost nothing is right. Everything is wrong. And we have to pull our socks up. We really do. Unite. Why would anybody belong to such a sordid organisation?